There he is. There's Mark Carney. Hello, fellow common scum. There he is. Technocrat globalist banker who loves Greta Thunberg. She's wonderful, apparently. Probably still likes her. I mean, she's gotten even better. I mean, for one thing, she keeps saying the world's going to end in 6 months, which will please him immensely. Also, though, she hates capitalism and she supports terrorism. I don't know. Is he for that as well? He's happy because it's his first beer. He's the great hope for the Liberal Party. It's between him and Twitchy, Chrystia Freeland. They're really the only two competitors for the leadership. Now that Justin Trudeau has announced he will step down once the Liberal Party selects one of these two. And he went on Jon Stewart. And everybody was amazed by his charm and wit, how dynamic he was on the Jon Stewart show. I didn't think he was that dynamic. Let's listen to him here.
A wild hypothetical. Let's say the candidate wasn't part of the government. Let's say the candidate did have a lot of economic experience. Let's say the candidate did deal with crises. Let's say the candidate had a plan to deal with the challenges in the here and now.
Sneaky, you're running as an outsider.
That's like the best he's capable of. Hardly a powerhouse. Now, obviously, it's the Daily Show. Why he had Mark Carney on for a 20-minute interview? No American knows who Mark Carney is, right? No American knows who the globalist banker, the Canadian, well, also Canadian, British, Irish, he's got 3 passports, globalist technocrat banker is, right? Liberal Twitter seemed to be under the impression that this was all just that this wasn't rehearsed either. Obviously, the whole thing is rehearsed. A 20-minute interview, you think they're going in cold? I don't think so, especially not somebody as stiff and uncharismatic as Mark Carney. Why they did this, I have no idea. It must have been the lowest ratings of the year for The Daily Show. Maybe he owed him something. Maybe Mark Carney promised he'd introduce Jon Stewart to Greta Thunberg if he had him on. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that Jon Stewart, who I think has awful politics, is funny, he is charismatic, and he is interesting. That's what happened, right? Mark Carney sat next to somebody interesting, and liberal Twitter went to flutter. Their hearts went to flutter. Yes, he's the one who can beat Pierre Poilievre, right? He's the one who'll do it. He can take him down. He's a dragon slayer. He's so fun. And then this happened. He launched his campaign in Edmonton, and let's see what he's like when he's not sitting across from somebody who's actually interesting.
Let me tell you one other thing. In these times, sending Pierre Poilievre to negotiate with Donald Trump is the worst possible idea. I can think of one other politician I might not send. It just came to me in the last 24 hours.
Anybody still awake? Wake up, everybody. Wake up. It doesn't take long to put you to sleep. Hold on. How about this one? The Liberal Messiah. Who's this from? Bruce McGonigal. Mark Carney just told Canadians that the Canada we know and love is over and that hard times are ahead for Canada. We know that with a Liberal, hard times are ahead. This is the Liberal Messiah, he asks. Well, let's take a look. I'll let you judge.
Old times, my friends, are over. Our times are anything but ordinary. The system, it's not working as it should. And it's not working as it could. People are anxious. No wonder. Too many are falling behind. Too many young people can't afford a home. Too many people can't find a doctor.
You know who they blame for that? You've been an advisor to Justin Trudeau since 2020. It's you. We blame you. We blame you. You're not an outsider. You're an insider. He's good friends with Chrystia Freeland. He's the godfather to her, to one of her children. This guy. I mean, this is totally, anybody who thinks this is the great hope for the Liberals is delusional. Oh, by the way, here are some conservative journalists being kept out of Mark Carney's campaign launch, by the way. So, we keep saying, Polyev keeps saying just like Trudeau. The Conservatives keep saying just like Trudeau. This is just like Trudeau.
Who are you? I'm an accredited media. I am a member of the press gallery of the Alberta Legislature. I would like to come in and report the news just like anyone else. Why are we not welcome?
You're not welcome because they are authoritarian leftists. Let's see. From Stephen Taylor, he posted this. Mark Carney forgot to scrub this video from the internet. He wants the carbon tax to keep going up. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to go over super well in the carbon tax election. Let's see.
Again, I think in order to accomplish what we need is that there will be, for a period of time, a rising price of carbon, either explicitly for a long period of time, either explicitly or implicitly through regulation, that has the effect of a steady increase in the price of carbon. And that's a bit akin to having a rising value-added tax over time, which flows through to a lot of prices.
Yeah, so now he's making noises about, well, maybe, it won't be the carbon tax, but it will be something else. Look, the point of these things, the carbon taxes, cost on carbon, right, is to make it more expensive so people use less of it, so that your society, your civilization uses less of it. It's all the same shit. And he refuses to really answer the question anyway. So I don't know. This doesn't seem like great. Oh, there was this as well. I forgot to put this in the video I made last night from the Pleb Reporter. Canadian debt collection agency Met Credit calls out Mark Carney for stealing their logo. He stole in Canada right now, right? Canada right now, where there's a massive debt problem. He steals the logo of a debt collection agency. Holy crap. Let's see. I'm in. Met Credit said, that's a beautiful logo, Mark, but we're apolitical. There's their logo, and here's his. Holy crap. This is just brain dead. I'm in. Yes, that's what Canadians want to think about when they look. I want Canadians to think about Met Credit and having credit agencies come after them because they can't pay their bills. I want them to think of that when they see Mark Carney's face, because that's what he will deliver to Canada. Let's see. Ryan Garrettson. Imagine going from Trudeau to this guy. He even makes Stephen Guilbeault look like a net zero rookie. Okay. This UN climate insane banker is about enriching himself and other elites at our expense. See, people like him are immune from the effects of the policies that they advocate for you. Right? Let's take a look.
You demanded action, and now it's time for the financial sector to deliver. To reach net zero.
Who demanded action? Who demanded action exactly? Was it us? Did you guys? I didn't. I know I didn't. It almost kind of just feels like nobody did, but they just want to do it anyway. So they'll pretend.
Every country, every company, every bank, every investor, every pension fund around the world will need to make some big changes. In the run-up to COP26 in Glasgow, we have an enormous opportunity to bring climate change into the heart of every financial decision. And our plan will manage the risks from climate change while helping to seize the opportunities from a newer.
You won't manage the risk from climate change. It's impossible to do it if there is a risk, because there's China and India, so it doesn't matter anyway. Canada could be wiped off the map tomorrow. It won't make a bit of difference. We just simply contribute too little to it. Let's see. Canada's economy is being decimated by the kind of policies you're advocating for here, by the way. As many people as possible need to see this. Let's move on. Let's see. How about this? So the man of the people shows up in a big, long, white limousine for his lunch. Mark Carney shows up in a Rolls-Royce limousine to make his leadership candidacy announcement. I'm an outsider just like you. Where is that picture again? Where is that picture? Hello, fellow peasant scum. I'm Mark Carney. I'd like to be your next prime minister. By the way, is that some carbon you've got? Have you got any carbon on you? I'm going to tax it right now. You're made out of carbon. In fact, I'll just tax you personally. Let's see. Oh, look at this. This one's great. From Brian Lilly. In this video, Mark Carney is praising Greta Thunberg as a leader. Canadians need to see this.
I would say I see myself as part of the social movement. I think those at the vanguard of the social movement might see me as being farther behind. And I've, absolutely full credit, and I do in the book to Greta Thunberg, who I've had the pleasure of meeting several times, and who absolutely has.
She was telling people that the entire world was going to be uninhabitable in like 5 years, right? By the way, the time has come and gone, still habitable. Really? This is the guy? This is the guy who's going to lead Canada? I don't think so. Aside from being the perfect candidate to be in a remake of Children of the Corn, because she's weird, Greta's now moved on from the environment to hating capitalism, to being a crazy commie terrorist supporter as well. So Canadians need to see this stuff. I think it's important. What else have we got here? Let's check this out from Pierre Poilievre. This is informative. Meet Carbon Tax Carney, the ultimate liberal insider. Let's just watch a little bit. Hold on. World Economic Forum? It gets worse and worse. Yeah, by the way, he was a board member of the World Economic Forum. Chrystia Freeland, by the way, is still a trustee with the World Economic Forum. So what does that face say? What do I think of when I see that face? I think I'll own nothing and not be happy. But he'll own stuff and be happy. Because the rules aren't for people like him. The rules aren't for technocrat globalist bankers. They're for you.
I have been talking with Mark Carney for years now.
Mark is a friend a personal friend, a very long standing. He's someone who I talk to often. It's really great for our team to have Mark providing advice to the Liberal Party so that we can support Canada.
Yeah, she thinks it's been great. The voters seem to disagree. The voters disagree with how great this has all been. It's nice that y'all like each other and you have a good time together, but, maybe just don't ever do anything that will affect any other person's life ever again. Maybe move to an island or something where you just can't fuck anything up. And he loves Trudeau. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he love Trudeau? He's just going to do what Trudeau's been doing. That's it. He's going to try and scare Canadians because conservatives are scary. They're going to ruin everything. They're going to get rid of healthcare. Guess what? Healthcare is been destroyed under you guys, under your advice. You've been advising the Prime Minister for 5 years. You have way more to do with what's happened to healthcare than Pierre Poilievre. In fact, he's had nothing to do with it, with the collapse of healthcare, the decline of healthcare in Canada. You have something to do with it, though. You've been a big advisor to Trudeau, the guy who's messed it all up. By the way, Mark Carney is a big fan of mass immigration as well. Big fan of temporary foreign workers driving down wages, right? Driving up real estate prices. It's actually a massive transfer of wealth upwards. And he loves it. Look at he's smiling there. I'm in to ruin your life. I find it unbelievable that they think this guy can win, can pull off some sort of a coup. I'm just not buying it at all. And this here, tell us more, Mark Carney, about how the party that you want to lead has destroyed the old Canada. Let's hear more of that.
Old times, my friends, are over. Our times.
So he's promising that they're over now. And he thinks that's a good thing, right? We were using too much carbon. People were too wealthy. Mark Nixon, what's going on at CTV News? Did someone spike their coffee with truth serum? Let's take a look.
Listen, let me just say that he's as much an outsider as I am an outsider. This guy's been the Trudeau whisperer since 2020. And before that, he's been in his ear on COVID. He was part of Building Back Better. He chairs an economic task force. I think they wanted to replace both Morneau and Chrystia Freeland with them. As we'd say in Cape Breton, butter wouldn't melt in this guy's mouth. He is not an outsider. It's a valiant effort to claim that he is one in order to paint a different narrative. But the proof is in the pudding. And don't equate just the fact that you don't have a high public profile to the ordinary Canadian voter as being an outsider, because people are going to see right through that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to fly. I think that you always get a bit of a bump when new leadership candidates emerge and people get, nobody knew who Mark Carney was, right? I think like, maybe 1 in 10 Canadians had heard of Mark Carney before all of this. Maybe just the relief that Trudeau is gone for some liberals. But once people get to know this guy, right? Like, again, he's not going to have Jon Stewart with him by his side to make him seem interesting for the rest of the campaign. It's just going to be this guy, right? It's just going to be, hello, fellow peasant scum. I'm going to make your life worse. I mean, that's it. That's his whole thing. Old Canada's gone. It's never coming back. Not with me leading the country. That's it. I don't know. I feel like it's entirely possible that they actually do. I know this seems impossible. They actually do even worse with this guy than they would have under Trudeau. Because, again, will the TrueAnon cultists be motivated to vote if he gets the leadership of the Liberal Party, right? Again, like hair, not super impressive. Teeth, not nearly as nice as Justin's. So I think they could have a problem. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.